Three hikers were camping deep in the woods at night. At 3 a.m., they heard their own voices calling from outside the tent. "Hey, come out! I'm hurt bad! Help me!" But all three of them were still inside. Three true stories. After the last one, you won't look at the forest the same way tonight. Lock your doors before you hit play, because whatever was out there with them, it never really left. Story 1. This first one comes from a guy named Ryan. Back in 2019, Ryan and his girlfriend decided to do an overnight hike on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. Nothing crazy, just a 12-mile loop with a lean-to shelter halfway. They started late in the afternoon because Ryan had work, so by the time they reached the shelter, it was already getting dark. The shelter was empty when they got there, just an old three-sided wooden thing with a tin roof. They set up their sleeping bags, cooked some food on a little stove, and went to bed early because they were beat. Around 2 a.m., Ryan wakes up needing to pee. He grabs his headlamp, steps outside, does his thing about 20 feet from the shelter, and that's when he hears it. Someone whistling. Not like a happy tune, more like a slow, off-key version of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It's coming from deeper in the woods, maybe 50 yards away. He freezes. The whistling stops, then starts again, closer this time. Ryan shines his headlamp toward the sound and sees nothing but trees. He hurries back inside, wakes his girlfriend, and whispers what he heard. She tells him it was probably another hiker messing around. They both try to go back to sleep. An hour later, the whistling is right outside the shelter, maybe 10 feet away, and now there's a voice, low and raspy, singing the words super slow. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Ryan grabs his knife, heart pounding, his girlfriend is shaking. They sit there in total silence for what feels like forever. Then footsteps, slow and deliberate, walking around the shelter, crunching leaves. Whatever it is circles the shelter 3 full times, still whistling. Finally, the footsteps stop right at the open side of the shelter. Ryan raises the headlamp and clicks it on. Nothing. Empty woods. No one there. They waited until sunrise, packed up in 5 minutes, and hiked out without saying a word to each other. When they got to the parking lot, they noticed fresh boot prints in the mud all around their car, prints that definitely weren't there when they arrived. They still don't know who or what was out there with them that night. Story 2. The second story happened to a solo hiker named Sarah in 2022. She was doing a section of the Pacific Crest Trail in Washington State, near a place called Goat Rocks Wilderness. Beautiful area, lots of knife-edge ridges and alpine lakes. Sarah loved hiking alone. She said the quiet helped her think. One evening, she's camping just off the trail at a small lake. No one else around for miles. She sets up her tent, eats dinner, and is sitting by her little fire when she hears a kid laughing. Like a little boy, maybe 6 or 7 years old, giggling like he's playing hide and seek. The laugh echoes off the rocks, so it's hard to tell exactly where it's coming from. Sarah figures there must be a family camping nearby that she didn't see. She yells out, "Hey, everything okay?" No answer, just more giggling. Closer now. She stands up, looks around with her flashlight. Nothing. The laughing stops. 10 minutes later, it starts again, but this time it's coming from inside her tent. She's standing 10 feet away from the tent and clearly hears a child's voice inside going, "Hee hee hee, found you!" Sarah grabs her bear spray and her knife, heart racing. She slowly walks over and yanks open the tent flap. Empty. Sleeping bag untouched. She spends the rest of the night sitting outside with her back against a tree, wide awake, fire burning high. At dawn, she packs up fast and starts hiking out. About 2 miles down the trail, she runs into a park ranger doing patrol. She tells him the whole thing. The ranger's face goes serious. He says, "Ma'am, 30 years ago, a little boy went missing up near that lake. Search parties looked for weeks. They never found him.
Every few years, someone reports hearing a kid laughing around there, always at night. Sarah hasn't been back on that section of the PCT since.
Story 3. Last one is from a guy named Marcus. Summer of 2024, he's hiking the Long Trail in Vermont with 2 buddies, Tyler and Devin. They're doing a 5-day stretch, and on night 3, they camp at a spot called Congdon Shelter. Old wooden shelter, graffiti on the walls, usual stuff. Around midnight, all 3 of them are woken up by scratching, loud scratching on the outside wall of the shelter, like fingernails dragging across the wood, slow and deliberate. They shine their lights, nothing there. The scratching moves to the roof, then stops. 10 minutes later, they hear a voice right outside, mimicking Tyler's voice perfectly, calling, "Marcus, Devin, come out, it's me." Tyler goes white because he never spoke. He was asleep. They all huddled together with knives out. Then the voice switches to Devin's voice, saying the exact same thing. It keeps cycling through their own voices, calling each other outside. At one point, it uses Marcus's voice to say, "Guys, I'm hurt bad. I need help. Hurry." They almost fell for it. They stayed inside until morning, didn't sleep a minute. When the sun came up, they stepped outside and saw something that still keeps Marcus up at night. All around the shelter, drawn in the dirt with a stick or a finger, were perfect handprints, hundreds of them in circles that got smaller and smaller until they reached the doorway. But here's the thing. Every single handprint had 6 fingers. They hiked the 14 miles out in a record time and reported it to the Green Mountain Club. The club said that shelter has been torn down since then because too many people reported the exact same thing. Voices sounding like their friends and those 6-fingered prints. So yeah, maybe think twice before you camp at those old shelters alone. That's it for tonight. Which story scared you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more true horror stories like these, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay safe out there, especially on the trail. See you next time.